What's up, everybody? Alaska Stock Talk here. Got probably a long video here today. We're going to talk about some funding and what that entails, okay? So, excuse me, I'm pretty exhausted right now. Hopefully I don't drag this video on too long here. So, remember, this isn't financial advice. Please don't use this information to go out and buy Ocgn or sell or anything like that. This is just for entertainment, and it is pretty speculative, right? This is just my opinions. Anything I'm saying here may not happen or be true, okay? So keep that in mind. But what we're going to do, let me pop this up here. Okay. So again, not financial advice. So this came out on Ocgn today. Announced, or they released a SEC report with the new slides from today's showcase there. So, and this was on here, which caught my eye. They're talking about getting the NIH, right? They're partnering with NIH to do the next gen collaboration, and that's supposed to start early 2024. So that is something that could happen soon. And with that comes funding, right? This whole video is basically going to be about funding and short-term stuff that's going to happen here. Funding should equal the stock price going up, which is what we want. So yeah, we have the next gen collaboration. Ocgn, if you don't know, has already announced that we are part of the next gen collab with NIH and BARDA, so we know that we're going to be getting funding, but we don't know what the amount is that we're going to be getting. But we do know that something's going to be announced, and we're going to take a look here. A lot of us that have been in Ocgn, we know about Vaxart. They've been around about the same time with their COVID-19 play. They announced that they were getting 9.27 million, which if you ask me, that's kind of a dud. Hopefully we get something better than 9.27 million, right? That's not going to do a whole lot for us. But the whole reason for me putting this on here is that Ocgygen's been saying, this is going to happen early first quarter, right? Or early year is what they're saying, more like. And what they posted today is probably they have March/April, so we'll see. But I'm pointing this out because this happened fairly recently, January 22nd of this year. So BARDA is kind of, they're starting to announce some funding, because I found a few of them here. Same thing with this Focus Biosciences. A little bit better. They got 23.9 million from BARDA. BioFire Defense, they got 13 million. And then this one here, this one is actually for a COVID-19 vaccine. I forgot to mention back here, this Vaxart one is actually it's not a vaccine, it's for their pill. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the next gen stuff, the vaccines got a huge amount of funding, part of that 5 billion. So I think the vaccine people are getting more money. So these people here, Gritstones, were also funded by BARDA. They got 433 million. Okay, so when BARDA announces how much money Ocgn gets, which is going to happen sometime here around March or April, according to Shankar and Ocgn, maybe they'll announce actually that's when they're supposed to start the trial. So who knows? Maybe BARDA will announce before then. We don't know when. So that's just like an unknown near-term catalyst coming up. Okay, so yeah, so that's a COVID-19 vaccine, and our partnership with NIH, that's what it is for us too. That's for our Ocgy 500. This one's not for the Ocgy 400, which is what our showcase was about today or yesterday. I can't even remember anymore. I'm so tired right now. So the showcase was about Ocgy 400. this funding is all about our vaccines for COVID/flu, the inhaled vaccine OCU500. Okay, so if you're new here, Ocgn has a lot of stuff going on right now, and I believe they're building themselves into be a powerhouse, which is what we're going to talk about too. So hopefully, when BARDA announces the funding through NIH and BARDA, it's going to be a big number like this. I think this might help us, move the stock, right? Because this would be a huge amount for Ocgn to continue through that process. That's what they've been looking for, right? They've been saying they're looking for funding to get through that clinical trial process because it's expensive. So another one here, this was also what was released today. In one of my past videos, I said that the last speech Kuvan had this slide, but then they took it out at the last one, Shankar did for some reason, but then they added it back in on this one today, and it's the one that shows that Ocgn has an R&D center in Hyderabad, India, which is the next part of funding. We're going to talk about here. Let's see, what's this one? This one is supposed to be first. So if we take a look here, this was also released on today's news there for the showcase. The finalized big pharma partner for OCU400 to maximize value for patients and shareholders. Okay, I think we kind of twisted their hands here and kind of made them, the cat was out of the bag, I don't know if it was me. I have been making videos for the last 2 weeks saying how I think they might be partnering with BristolMyers Squib, Pfizer, or CanSino and Bharat Biotech for OCU400, right? I think either one of those could happen, or what I'm going to talk about today is kind of like the Holy Trinity, and we're going to get into that here. This is very hypothetical, okay, you guys? But they're telling us right here, like, yeah, okay, you guys are right. We are finalizing a partnership with a big pharma company. And so let's take a look. So we're going to talk about India here and what that could mean. So if they're talking about big pharma, we have our R&D center in India, and we're also already partners with big pharma in India, which is Bharat Biotech. They're the ones that we initially got partners with when Ocgn was going to do Covaxin, right? We got the rights for the United States, Japan, and Canada or whatever. And yeah, so we've already been partners with them in CanSino. And in one of my last videos, a lot of this will make more sense too if you go back a few videos and watch some of the stuff, especially ones where I talk about partnering and all that. So I found this one before here, right? Here's the lady that did this one. Strategic partnerships fuel growth. And they talk about Ocgn has entered into strategic partnerships with CanSino and Bharat Biotech. We already knew that. But right here, this sentence, in collaboration for acceleration and development, commercialization of the company's gene therapy products. Okay, previously Bharat Biotech was only for COVID. So this could be the big pharma they're talking about. A combined one, because CanSino is also big pharma, but they're in China. But I'm trying to remember if they have places in India already. I think I looked that up once, and I think they might, but I could be mistaken. Someone could check that. But they, I believe there are deep connections between the two already, Bharat Biotech and CanSino, that I mentioned before. And so yeah, now it's possible that they might be the ones funding, right? Which makes sense. We just got that. So if we look here, we just got this deal with the Telangana government in Hyderabad with life sciences. One of my other videos talked about this, and these two people here from life sciences, Jayesh and this other guy. So this is Ocgn partnering with the Telangana government, right? With this, they said we're going to build this R&D center in India, and then they mentioned this. So I think it's possible that Bharat Biotech and CanSino, or maybe just Bharat Biotech, may be that big pharma that's going to help Ocgn in India. Okay? Just India. Because I also think that it's possible that we may be partnering with more than one big pharma. In India, I think it's possible we might be partnering with Bharat Biotech, but then in the United States, I think we might be partnering with somebody else. So, if you remember in one of my previous videos, we found out about, this partnership, and then I connected the two with this. BristolMyers Squib also met with the same exact people, Telangana Life Sciences government. The same two guys were there as the same with Ocgn, and then I had mentioned these two articles I found, and all these color-coded here are the same exact talking points and things that are basically saying the same exact thing. We're setting up R&D, gene therapy, and all this, Bristol-Myers and Ocgn. So that my speculation there is that it's possible that Bristol-Myers may also, so maybe it's not Bharat Biotech, and maybe it's Bristol-Myers, or maybe it's a combination. I'm not sure if that's possible or if they do that. But it could be either one. So that's pretty crazy that there's such a coincidence, and you can go watch my other video where I go much deeper into that, but we're not going to right now. So yeah, we talked about the funding from NIH, right? That's one funding we're gonna be getting for sure, and then possible. We talked about, right, this right here. We know for sure we're finalizing with big pharma partner. Too bad they didn't write partners right there. That would have been pretty awesome. So yeah, we know that this partnership is going to bring along funding, right? That's why we're doing it, to maximize value for patients and shareholders. That makes me pretty excited, right? It should make everybody excited. So yeah, so those are the two different fundings there. Bristol-Myers Squib, they're in India here, but I think they may be funding in the United States. So I think it's possible that maybe we're going to partner with Bharat Biotech in India, and then possibly in the United States we're partnering with Bristol-Myers Squib. And I want to show you, I gotta switch to share screen here. Wrong one. I don't want to share when I share display, so you can see my mouse pointer, I think. Okay, so we know that Shankar is going to be talking at the Bio CEO on the 27th, which is the same day of earnings. And then I mentioned in one of my other videos that the CEO of Bristol-Myers Squib is going to be talking on the same day in Bio Asia 2024. And this is what he has to say here.
Namaste, India. I am thrilled to be joining you for BioAsia 2024. This forum fosters collaboration and drives breakthroughs that will redefine our industry. I am looking forward to the discussions, learning the latest advancements in science and technology, as well as exploring the potential for transformative partnerships. Join me at BioAsia 2024 in Hyderabad as we collectively shape the future of healthcare. See you at BioAsia 2024.
Okay, so let me. I don't know if you can see me now. How do I don't know if you're seeing me now, but let's see. Let me 1 second. I pause. Sorry about that. So yeah, that was the CEO of BristolMyers Squib here, who just had got the same, like they're partnering with the same people that Ocgn is partnering with. So even if BristolMyers Squib is not partnering with Ocgn, we're both partnering with the same people, the same Indian government. So either way, we're going to be intertwined with them in some way. So it would be really shocking to me that we're not partnering with BristolMyers Squib. Um, but the reason why I think I had mentioned Pfizer earlier is because of Bob Smith here. Ocgn just recently got Bob Smith onto our business advisory board, and he was the senior vice president, global gene therapy of business at Pfizer for a long time, right? This is, that's basically the top of that area of the global gene therapy. He was the guy over there, right? But he left there to come join Ocgn, right? Or we don't know. I don't know. It's still on his bio on LinkedIn. He still says that he works there, and he hasn't changed it yet. He is active on there. He has likes on there from a week ago and stuff. So he is active. Whoops, our camera just got messed up. He is active on there. Sorry, guys, but he hasn't changed that yet. So maybe it's just because he doesn't even have a profile picture on there. So it could just be doesn't mess with that stuff that much. But yeah, huge guy, right? He just joined Ocgn, a huge player, and he was the one responsible for Wyeth, which is where he used to work with Shankar. He was responsible for them merging, Pfizer merging and acquiring Wyeth. Okay, so he was a part of that, and now he's coming back to Ocgn with Shankar. Okay, so this is where nobody should be bearish, because all this stuff is just so crazy. Let's take a look at Shankar here real quick. A lot of people think, or I don't know if a lot of people, but all the bears, on Twitter and other places, the people that don't believe in Ocgn, right, they always talk crap about Shankar and say that, he doesn't know what he's talking about, which is just the total opposite, right? He was the team leader for the most successful launch in vaccine history, Prevnar 13, at Pfizer after he was working with Bob, right? So they got acquired from Pfizer, and then Shankar took over there. He was the team lead, and he was the one that did the successful launch, right? So he knows what he's doing, and he's not the only one, too, right? Get this. Shine, who also was a part of Ocgn, right? He spoke today at the showcase. He was also part of Prevnar. Okay, he led the successful commercial launch of the global 6 billion Prevnar vaccine franchise, while with Pfizer Vaccines, formerly Wyeth. So all three of these people, there are more I'm not even talking about, right? But all three of these people, there are much more big players in Ocgn. It's crazy. But just these three people alone already were a part of the most successful rollout, Prevnar 13. And that's probably why Bob Smith has come back to Ocgn. And Shankar, he even said that when they brought him back on. He said, I've worked here in the past with these people. I really like them, and I'm really interested and surprised or whatever, how well that Ocgn 400 has come out. So it's possible that why I said Pfizer, it's possible that maybe since Pfizer had already worked with all of these guys, why would they not send Bob back to pick up, or to, just to fund now, basically, right? Because they said a partnership. So why wouldn't they send Bob over to help Ocgn to build this partnership with Pfizer? So maybe it's Pfizer that we're partnering with in America, and maybe we're partnering with BristolMyers Squib and Broad Biotech in India, right? I don't know, but there is going to be funding coming from one of these places, and it's all going to happen this year, right? And a lot of it's going to happen in the beginning of the year. So I'm very bullish. I have a very bullish outlook. The drop today did not scare me one bit, and we can take a look at the chart and talk about that too. But I just wanted to show you guys the success of the team that we have. Shankar, Bob, and Shine, all together. This team has already did the most successful launch, Prevnar 13, and people think they're not gonna do it again. Come on, are you joking? How could you be bearish on this company right now at the price it's at, and this team? Well, it's because people don't know, right? It's because people aren't digging like I am, and like a few other people are, right? We're digging for this information, and if you're invested in a stock, a lot of people here are invested a lot more money than me, and they don't know any of this stuff, but at least hopefully they're watching this video now, okay? So let me share screen again so we can take a look at the charts. Okay, so earlier today I made a call, which I thought I would put that in my slide deck there, but I forgot. When we got this candle right here on Twitter, I posted, you guys remember about fractals, I told you we're going to get a turnaround, and then boom, that's what happened. It came back up, and then it came down a little bit, but we stayed above $1, right, which is perfect. So, give ourselves another pat on the back for this one, because that's day 2 that we need for 10 days to get back on the NASDAQ compliance, right? So what's even crazier is that we got this fractal right after we hit the golden pocket. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, if you don't know what I'm talking about fractals or golden pocket, go back and watch some of my old videos where you can figure out how to set this up too. It was a perfect play out. Boom, we came down to the pocket. It created a fractal, and I knew that we were going to go back up from there. What else was I going to point out on here? The video is probably super long, so maybe I won't talk too much about the charts, but when I posted that before, I mentioned it's possible we get a double bounce off, right? So maybe tomorrow we come down back to the golden pocket. That would be a good area to buy again down here. Awesome to buy it at 90 cents again, and then we might go back up from there. Who knows? Who knows when we're going to get a funding announcement, right? It's coming sometime in the beginning of this year, which is pretty exciting. And then the fireworks are really going to happen, okay? So let's leave it at that. Let me pull this back up here 1 second. Alright, you guys, I hope this was an enjoyable one today. Lots of stuff going on. I'm super pumped about Ocgn. Don't be scared, right? Some of my old videos, after we pushed up to 70 cents and we started going back down to 50 cents, everybody was freaking out like they are now. Like, oh, we're going back to 0 or whatever. But this is how it works, right? We have to cool off the RSI. It can't just go up straight forever, right? And this is how it works. Goes straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, and if you can't handle that, then biotech stocks might not be it for you because they're very volatile, right? And I've been here for a few years now, and I've ridden this thing all the way up and down, crazy stuff. So these kind of movements don't really bother me anymore. But if they do, you might not want to be invested at least too much here, right? Don't be investing your whole house and all that stuff. People actually do that kind of stuff, their rent money and everything. Please don't do that, right? It's not worth it. Only invest what you can afford. And please, again, don't use this information to go buy something and then you lose some money because it goes down because something unexpected happens, and then you come back here and you hate me, right? That's the last thing I want, okay? This is just entertainment. Alright, you guys, have a good night.